players say that they're excited for the fans to see these different jerseys and they're excited to wear them for their coach, but ultimately when they put on their jerseys and go out on the field, the game is the only thing on their mind. Fans say while there's no place like home, it's fun to travel and experience game day in an entirely new way. Clark, I could definitely get used to topping 100 points a game, but the team is still a work in progress. The new rules might have had something to do with the high score, but there's still a lot to look forward to with BYU's offense. Yeah, Clark, this kind of relationship has potential to cause some conflict for some pairs, but Bronson and Steve Kafusi say that they like keeping their football all in the family.
BYU football fans know defensive lineman Bronson Kafusi as Smash, but many don't know that his father stands on the field with him at every practice and game. 11 sports reporter Mary Blanchard has the scoop. Mary, what can you tell us about this father-son, player-coach relationship?
Yeah, Clark, this kind of relationship has potential to cause some conflict for some pairs, but Bronson and Steve Kafusi say that they like keeping their football all in the family.
I love it. It's like probably one of my favorite aspects of playing here is being able to have my dad be my coach.
And from Kafusi's 36 tackles and 4 sacks on the season, it appears as though having his dad as his coach has been effective. Bronson has started on BYU's defensive line in all 12 games this season, and his dad, Steve Kafusi, has called all the plays as the defensive line coach.
He's a hard-working kid.
The proud papa started coaching at BYU in 2002 and has played a huge part in helping BYU gain their nationally known and respected defense that Bronson has now been a part of for 2 seasons.
I have complete trust in him, which is great to have your coach that's coaching your position. He can just tell me whatever he wants and, not have to kind of sugarcoat anything for me.
Having the pair on the same team may cause some question. Does Bronson receive any special treatment or maybe even worse treatment from his dad on the field? Steve says that Bronson doesn't need anything more or anything less from anyone. His work ethic speaks volumes.
I mean, we have to tell him to slow down because he just wants to consistently, just every day wants to, hey, I need to go work out, hey, I need to do this. And so, trying to pull him back a little bit so he doesn't do too much.
Coach Kafusi says it's fun to see Bronson having so much success doing something he loves so much.
Coach Kafusi did add that his heart is in his throat every time he watched Bronson play basketball last season because he was worried that he might get injured. Live in the newsroom, Mary Blanchard, 11 Sports.
Yeah, Mary, speaking of the smash play in basketball, is that happening this season or what?
You know what, Clark, all we know is that Coach Mendenhall told Bronson that it's okay with him if he does, but we haven't heard anything from Coach Rose or from Bronson, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'm guessing more than a few WCC opponents wouldn't be too excited if the big man decided to hit the floor. Thanks, Mary.
It's something everybody needs to do.
Saturday's game against Wisconsin will mark Preston Norton's 93rd Cougar away game trip. He started following the basketball and football teams around in 2006 and hasn't stopped since. And Preston isn't the only BYU roadie.
BYU fans, I think we actually are one of the best traveled fan bases in the nation.
With members of the LDS Church and BYU alumni everywhere, Cougar Nation has a presence anywhere the team goes.
We just heard someone start screaming the fight song, and then suddenly the entire concourse is just singing the fight song. And this is an away game. It was just overpowering with BYU fans.
Fans say while there's no place like home, it's fun to travel and experience game day in an entirely new way.
At BYU, it's about the game, whereas on the road, it's about game day and the full atmosphere.
Preston says the fan presence makes a difference to the team at the games, and Coach Bronco Mendenhall wholeheartedly agrees.
We play Wisconsin next. So why don't you just make it a road trip, go to Wisconsin, come back, Notre Dame, Nevada, and then we'll all finish in San Francisco.
That's a lot of frequent flyer miles for Cougar fans, but they say the away game experience makes it all worth it. In Provo, Mary Blanchard, 11 Sports.
We all ended up being right in picking BYU over Houston, and we were right to think that BYU was going to put on a show, but we were oh so wrong about Houston. They came to play and made the game incredibly exciting. The scoring started early and often. There were 7 scores in the first quarter. Here's the last one. Beautiful catch by Ross Oppo. The native Texan came to play, and the score after the first quarter was 24-21. That's more points than many final scores around the country, but we're not done. Houston scores 10 unanswered to take the lead. Good guys down to score, but Jay Swagdaddy's got the answer, and we're all tied up, for a couple minutes at least. John O'Corn improvising and Daniel Spencer does the rest, making people look silly, and Houston's back on top. Halftime. Everybody take a breath. We good? Okay. This safety right here, the only 2 points scored in the third quarter. Blocking, guys, come on. At this point, the Blue Crew really starting to worry, but Cody Hoffman's like, guys, chill, I got this. Amazing catch by Hoffman. We've got another lead change. But guess what? We're still not done. UHTD with 5 minutes left, clock winding down, my nails completely bitten off, 1 minute left, and here we have Skylar Ridley. It's his turn to play the hero with this dime from Taters. Then finally we have a clutch pick here by Alani Fua. It seals the deal. Everybody exhale, now we're done. Blue Cougars steal a win in Houston, 47-46. Let's go to Skylar to break down the offense a little further.
Our men's basketball team had 3 big home games this week, starting with Mount St. Mary's. Within the first 10 minutes, the Cougars showed they own this house by taking a commanding lead and not letting go the rest of the game. I mean, at halftime, they were up by 20 points. Anson Winder and Eric Mika set career highs for scoring, Winder with 22 and Mika with 20. BYU easily hiked up the mount and planted their flag 108-76. Coming off that win, the Cougs battled Colorado Mesa. Junior guard Matt Carlino led the team with 16 points and 5 rebounds, but in the second half, when his team was scrambling, he just hung back and watched. It didn't matter though, as BYU tamed the Mavericks 84-60. And with an unblemished record, BYU welcomed number 21 Iowa State. And as you might expect from a visiting Cyclone, things got messy. Let's jump straight to the end. 3.5 left to play, ISU's DeAndre Kane assaults freshman Eric Mika's face. Kane out with a flagrant 2, Mika out because he's seeing purple dots. ISU's foul trouble sent BYU to the line over and over, where they just could not deliver. The game ended on a missed shot from Kyle Collinsworth, and the Cougs lose their perfect record 88-90, and we're still waiting on them to use that last timeout.
So a win tomorrow would be big. Do you think that we could crack the top 25 if we pull it off?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, UMass is a top 25 team. It's on the road. It would look good on the Cougs' resume come March as well.
It really would. Thanks, Zach.
Coug Troop reporter Alan Miller is live in the newsroom with more on how the team is getting back one of their stars after some NCAA drama.
It's time for the top 5 plays of the football season. At number 5, Jamal Williams' killer run TD in Nevada. There is nobody anywhere close to him. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going, and no one can stop him. Check out his easy walk through the line. It's almost like a strut. Strut your stuff, J Swag Daddy.
But we won't have to endure the winter too much longer because basketball season's starting. We're going to go indoors.
Yes, thankfully we're headed into the Marriott Center because it is freezing out there. Next on sports, just say no. Seahawks and Saints was plenty entertaining, but not in the way most people thought it would be. We'll tell you which team left last night's game in the driver's seat for home field in the NFC. And hardwood heroics. It didn't matter if it was college or the pros. Hoops had everything from overtime nail-biters to buzzer beaters. We'll catch you up on all the must-see basketball highlights. Sports is next. Stay tuned. One look at the schedule this week, and you knew Monday night would be the headliner. New Orleans trekked to the Northwest looking for a rare road win in Seattle and the inside track for home field. But there's a reason the Seahawks are undefeated at home. PGA champion Fred Couples raising the flag for Seattle's fabled 12th man, and they made their presence felt early. First quarter, Drew Brees under pressure, and there's an early Christmas present for Michael Bennett. The big guy has this one gift wrapped with a pretty bow on top. That's a pick 6, and Seattle's Legion of Boom strikes first. Still in the first, Russell Wilson now finding tight end Zach Miller. Come on, Zach, keep running. He's not fast enough there, but later in the drive, Miller finishes what he started. 17-0 Seahawks out of the gate, and in the second half, the team finishes what they started. Here we've got a circus catch by Derek Coleman in the end zone. Take another look at this one. The ball was well defended originally, but Coleman snags the deflection. The replay upheld the call, and New Orleans hopes they never replay this one. 34-7 annihilation on Monday night. The Seahawks are 11-1 and control their home field destiny. The Utah Jazz had home court advantage too last night, and were coming off a win entering the game with the Rockets. That doesn't happen too often these days, so it's worth noting. Houston happens to be on their own winning streak, and this is a big reason why. James Harden finds Dwight Howard doing his Superman thing, which cut an early Jazz lead to 4.
Utah had an answer though, Gordon Hayward doing his Jimmy Chitwood thing for the nice floater to keep the good guys in front. Then down the stretch, it's Trey Burke. Look at the rookie with the great body control. Time winding down now, it's desperation time for Houston, and I'm pretty sure Aaron Brooks thinks he's better at basketball than he actually is, but it works. The last shot by Houston sent back by Marvin Williams, and the Jazz hang on for, count 'em, 2 wins in a row. Bulls hosting the Pelicans in Chi-Town, and grab your oxygen masks for this one. Chicago trails late, but Luol Deng using those fundamentals he learned at Duke. Coach K for Prez finds Joakim Noah for the big jam. Bulls up 2 with a few seconds left in regulation, but Drew Holiday cool as the other side of the pillow. We're going to overtime. In OT, similar situation, New Orleans down 3, and yes, he did. Eric Gordon so clutch from the wing, and we have double OT. Roles reversed this time, Bulls down a deuce, and do I hear a third overtime? Yeah, I do. Luol Deng ties things. You tired yet? I hope not, because it's still tied near the end of triple overtime. A few seconds on the clock, and Drew Holiday is a grown man. And the foul. That was the dagger. Pelicans outlast the Bulls 131-128 in 3 overtimes. And as promised, here's a buzzer beater for the road. Number 12 UConn hosting number 15 Florida, and Shabazz Napier somehow splits the triple team with his team down 1. Fortunate to find his own miss, and I told you, Napier drains the jumper as time expires, and he might still be running. Huskies win it in style and chomp the Gators 65-64 at the buzzer. Now, we hope that our game tonight is good, but maybe not that good. Let's get to know the foe our boys in blue will welcome to the Marriott Center at 7 p.m. You can find the University of North Texas in Denton, about an hour outside of downtown Dallas. They're known as the Mean Green. They're out of Conference USA, and we've actually seen them before. The Cougars are 2-0 in this series, but the last time we played them was 1989. The Mean Green spreads around the points. They've had 5 different players lead in scoring this year, and 4 have recorded double-doubles. North Texas averages 78 points per game, and they're 26th nationally in free throw attempts. We're 15th, so don't be surprised if this one is a battle at the line. Now, their leading scorer, his name is Owsley Williams. He averages 16 points a game, and he's 40% from beyond the arc, so not bad. Keep an eye out for him.
Wow, so they're doing pretty good. What's the record at this point?
They're 5-3, but they're out of Conference USA, so they haven't really had much competition, so cross our fingers, should be an easy win.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary.